The Airbus A380 is one of the series of Airbus companies. With over 800,000 flights completed as of 2021, the Airbus A380 is one of the best flights to have flown in the world. It was established in the year 2000. It was made after the first series of Airbuses, the A300 to A340 series. The company did not just choose its name A380. It was named to pass a message. The number 8 is a lucky number in the part of Asia where it was marketed for the first time. However, Airbus decided to be off the market for a while. This decision was due to an imbalance in the supply and demand of this Airbus A380. Nonetheless, Airbus A380 is making a huge comeback in the airplane industry. This video will explain why it went out of business and the huge comeback the Airbus A380 is about to make. In the year 2019, the Airbus company made a huge announcement that production for the Airbus A380 would shut down. This announcement was made due to a need for more demand by airlines that purchased it initially. Airlines like Emirates reduced their demand and changed their decision to purchase a certain amount of aircraft. The former CEO, Tom Enders, said this decision marked the end of an era. Despite this aircraft's features, it could not make the profit the company thought it would. The Airbus A350 was used to replace the Airbus A380 by most airlines. The Airbus A380 is a very large flight. It is one of the biggest flights to ever soar in the sky. It has a carrying capacity of 853 passengers. This Airbus was built to standard and ensured passengers had enough space whenever they traveled. Most passengers loved that they were devastated when airlines started to place their ban on the flight. The desire for passengers to board the Airbus A380 again is one huge factor allowing this flight back in the air. It's no news that companies like Qatar Airways made public statements never to use Airbus again because of the huge loss they encountered, especially post-COVID. These companies have retracted their statements. The executives of these airlines have looked into the future and realized the profit this Airbus can make. The passenger desire is just one of the factors looked into. There's more to the comeback of this flight. In normal transport conditions, the bigger the vehicle, the more passengers it can accommodate, which tends to make more profit than operational cost, thus making bigger vehicles favorable. This situation is not the case concerning airplanes. The bigger the airplane, the more fuel it consumes per distance, so they cannot profit enough for the airline despite the increased passenger capacity. The fuel factor was a major reason airlines reduced their demand for the Airbus A380. It cost more than they gained. The operational cost caused most companies to be at the edge of bankruptcy if they continued. The increased fuel prices did not make the situation even bearable then. The quick decision to swap the Airbus A380 with Airbus A350 or Boeing 777 was smart. The Boeing 777 has a fuel tank capacity of 30,000 liters, flying a distance of 9,700 kilometers. The Airbus A350 has a fuel tank capacity of 166,488 liters and can fly a distance of 15,372 kilometers. The Airbus A380, with two big engines, has a fuel tank capacity of 320,000 liters. Crazy, right? Yes, it can travel a distance of 12,874 kilometers. This distance means the airline will spend so much on fuel and the Airbus will travel only a short distance. The comeback of this Airbus to major airlines is a major risk, as they should be ready to handle the financial burden of this flight. However, the bigger the risk, the bigger the profits. By capitalizing on the demand of passengers, the airlines should be able to make profits since passengers are ready to move per flight as long as they get the comfort they desire. They are coupled with the fact that for now, fuel prices are quite sustainable. The future of fuel prices cannot be sustainable, but everything about this comeback is based on risk. The Airbus A380 is undoubtedly one of the most silent flights ever. It is so quiet that after a very long journey, passengers still feel refreshed. Let's remember the relaxation centers at the back of the A380. It provides a spot for socialization for passengers. The lavatory is also large enough and quite comfortable. The making of this Airbus had a goal: to provide luxury to passengers while simultaneously making huge profits for airlines. The COVID period played a major role in the setback of demands for A380. With the restrictions on flight travel, airlines couldn't profit from an airplane with a very high operational cost. The airlines are back to business. It is worth the risk for airlines to allow the A380 to soar into the sky again and make its huge comeback. The Airbus A380 is almost built to perfection. It has a length of 73 meters and a height of 24.1 meters. This Airbus is so heavy that it requires two powerful engines. Two pilots pilot it. It has a cabin length of 50.68 meters. One special feature of this Airbus is the double-decker design it has. The width of each deck is 6.82 meters for the main deck and 5.92 for the upper deck. These properties possessed by this flight earned it the name Super Jumbo. It cost Airbus a lot to bring the A380 to life. The parts used in producing the A380 are from several parts of the world. For this reason, upgrades can't be made on this airplane presently. Most people expect a huge comeback to result from improved parts of the Airbus, but that will only jeopardize the essence of the Airbus. This is because it will cost more to purchase and operational costs, making it impossible to make profits no matter the amount passengers are willing to pay. The comeback of the A380 is expected to be massive. Another reason for this is that the major competitor of the Airbus 380 is the Boeing 777X. The Boeing 777X is also suffering from an economic crisis. They are also experiencing low demand and high operational costs. The other airplanes used to replace the Airbus A380 are different. This is because the Airbus A350 and Boeing 777 are smaller and cannot handle passenger demand, especially since the pandemic is over. People are ready to travel all over the world again. What better way to do so than in a luxury two-decker flight? The revolution of the Airbus A380 has been on since 2022. This time it will soar in the sky, and the sky is not its limit. Emirates has started to place its demands and is ready to get the Super Jumbo back into the business. Other airlines like Qatar Airlines and Lufthansa have withdrawn their previous statements of never using the A380 again. Even Asian countries like China and Korea have started including the Super Jumbo in their fleet of airplanes. The A380 is returning bigger and better, ready to satisfy customers. We would like to know your views on the return of the Airbus A380. Kindly do so in the comments section. Remember to turn on the notification button so you won't miss any of our updates. See you in the next one.